Beloved, the greatest delay in your life is not always fear. It is not always failure. It is not always a lack of opportunity. Sometimes the greatest delay in your life is your need to control what only God can order. Because as long as you are controlling it, you cannot trust it. And when trust is absent, interference will show up. And interference will always delay what surrender could have accelerated. Beloved, welcome to Sunday's Talk. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for choosing your growth. Thank you for choosing your healing. And thank you for choosing your becoming. Today, I want to share with you one of the most powerful, and I mean powerful, affirmations that will allow you to attract divine abundance in your life. And it begins with alignment, because this is not a message about doing less. This is a message about moving differently, because there is a difference between effort and alignment. There is a difference between movement and direction. And there is a difference between wanting something and being prepared to receive it. You see, many people are not lacking opportunity. They are out of alignment with the way God is bringing it. Because we have been taught to chase the money, chase the success, chase the relationship, chase the visibility, chase the opportunity, chase the open door. But chasing creates a dangerous illusion that what you need is somewhere outside of you. So what do? You force, you overextend, you exhaust yourself, and you call it discipline. But underneath it is anxiety. But what if the issue is not your effort, beloved? What if the issue is your alignment? What if what you've been praying for has been looking for you, but cannot locate you because you keep moving out of position? You see, alignment looks like this. You move, but you do not force outcomes. You show up, but you not attached to timing. You act, but you are not led by fear. Chasing says this: I have to make this happen, while alignment says I will be led into what is already ordered, what is divinely mine. And truth be told, if I could be 100% transparent in this moment, I did not always live like this, with this type of mindset. You see, there was a version of me that wanted everything to happen under my control and my timing. I'm talking about clarity, stability, financial freedom, direction. And I was doing all the right things, so I thought, but I was exhausted, not just physically. I'm talking about mentally and spiritually. Drained. Because I was carrying what was never mine to carry. I was managing outcomes, controlling timing, gripping what only God could orchestrate. And I had to tell myself the truth. You see, I did not have a resource problem. I had a trust and control problem. Because trust says this: God, I will move and I will let you lead me. God, I will show up and I will not force outcomes. God, I will be responsible for my obedience and my obedience alone, and I will release your timing. And that shift changed everything, beloved. Not instantly, but undeniably. Because I stopped asking, how do I get this? And I started asking, who am I becoming to sustain this? Because if it arrives too early, You may not have the capacity to hold it, the resources. But when you are prepared, what enters your life has somewhere to stay. And this is where frustration is born, beloved. We want confirmation. We want evidence. We want results now, under our control. And when life does not move on our timing, we move without God. We force doors. We create what looks right. We rush what is not ready. And then we call it frustration. But what is it? It's misalignment. Because a seed does not question the soil. I'll say that again. A seed does not question the soil. The seed trusts the process. And at some point, I made a decision. I'm no longer carrying what belongs to God. Because my job is not the how. My job is not the when. My job is not to force the door. My job is to stay aligned, to stay available, to stay obedient. My job is to trust. God's job is timing. And when I made that shift, something real began to happen in every area of my life. Opportunities showed up that I did not chase. Doors opened that I did not force. Right now, the two companies that I'm currently employed with, I did not go looking for. They came to me. It appeared. And hear this clearly. That was not passivity. That was alignment. Because when God orders your steps, you will find yourself in places and spaces you did not even know was even possible, that you did not even ask for. And that is when this became real to me. Abundance is not something you chase. Abundance is something you align with. Beloved, what I'm about to share with you is a declaration. It is a spiritual mantra, an affirmation that has blessed my life in ways I could never imagine, nor could I have even orchestrated. And I have spoken these words over my life for years. And it did not just change what showed up in my life. More importantly, it changed who I was becoming. It strengthened my trust. It deepened my patience. It orchestrated and anchored my faith. And here is what I speak every day over my life. Infinite Spirit, open up the ways of great abundance for Tanzania Elizabeth Stone, who is an irresistible magnet to all that belongs to me by divine right. And let me make this clear. The power is not just in the words. It is in who you become while you speak them over your life, declaring them into the universe. You see, because a magnet does not chase what it attracts. A magnet becomes. So the real question is not, how do I get what I want? The real question is, beloved, who am I becoming while I patiently wait for it? Because what belongs to you by divine right does not require you to exhaust yourself to receive it. But it does require you to be aligned enough to hold it. So maybe today, God is not asking you to do more. Maybe God is asking you to release more under His control, to trust more, to surrender more, to stop forcing what is already ordered. Because what belongs to you cannot miss you. But you can miss it by being out of position. So stay aligned, stay open, stay obedient, and let God order your steps. Because when you live that way, You stop chasing what you need and you start walking in what has already prepared you for. And as I close, I declare this over you on today. In case you didn't hear me the first time, Infinite Spirit, open up the ways of great abundance for who is an irresistible magnet to all that belongs to you by divine right. Beloved, declare that over yourself every day, boldly, with conviction, with authority, and patiently watch how God moves in your life. I love you to life. Peace be unto you. Beloved, if this message spoke to you, hit that like button. Drop me a comment. Let's continue to build this community. And if this is your first time visiting this channel, subscribe. Thank you and God bless.